Brian up here in Kingfield, Maine. Got another harmony to show here. Just finished this one up. I've been playing it for a couple of weeks, and it's been on my Tone Right tone aging system. I don't know if it's snake oil or not. I got it because I bought it on eBay, and it seems like a cool thing. It goes down here, and it clips onto the... It's got this little vibrator that clips onto the strings, and you've got different settings, and it just simulates play. And the one thing I like about it is that I do notice that when I do a complete rebrace and restructure, and then I put that on there, everything kind of gets into place. You know, it kind of loosens up. So, you know, when you're doing the setup, it gets to where, you know, the neck, the truss rod, if it needs any adjustment, you adjust a little bit, you put it on that, it's like someone's been playing it. And I usually leave them on for like a week or so while I'm away working. It just seems to ease everything into place. It's kind of like a, you know, muscle therapy or something. Anyway, this is another one of these Harmony Sovereign H1203s. They're one of my favorites. I really enjoy fixing these up. And this is one that's older. It's a 50s model. That block print Harmony, I believe I've got two different sources. One says it stopped at 59, another one says 62. So either way, the newest this thing is like a 1962, but I'm going to call it a 50s one because I think I read it was 59. I couldn't find a date stamp inside, but it's an H1203, which is triple O OM size, more of an OM scale, 25 and an eighth, solid spruce top, solid mahogany back and sides, double bound, mahogany neck with just a standard old school truss rod with the brass nut up top. Brazilian rosewood fretboard. This is a replacement bridge, so this is Indian rosewood. And I have done what I do to these, which is the X-Brace Resto-Mod. Now, why would I do that to an old guitar? Well, I love ladder brace guitars, so, you know, I get comments on these all the time saying, oh, you ruined the tone, you destroyed it, you know, ladder brace is great for recording, it doesn't have as a deep pronounced lows, much more controllable. I love a ladder brace guitar. My Recording King LOO, you know, it's a Model K, but it's basically an LOO, is awesome. It's got that blues bark, mid-rangey Robert Johnson tone. However, here's my justification. They tend to get bellyish. They have string-through bridges that start to pull up, and that does stuff to the top. If they're braced heavily enough to not have any structural damage, they're usually braced so heavily that there's not a lot of sustain. And honestly, what I'm doing these for is, you know, a guy that has one or two guitars. And when I'm done with one of these X-Brace conversion, it's a good all-around OM for a fraction of what a Martin would cost. So, what do? Take all the binding off. Pull the neck first. Take all the binding off. Take the back off. The back gets whittled down from 5 cross braces down to 4. Not a big deal, but there's no really need for 5, I don't think, and it's just weight. So I put 4 braces on it. While the back is off, on the inside, all the bracing comes out, including the great big giant paint stir, you know, bridge plate. I usually leave the transverse brace up top here, popsicle stick if there is one, but there isn't on most of these Harmonies. And then I thin down the tops from the inside. A lot of these tops are over 1/8 of an inch thick. They're 0.125 or 0.130. And I think the best size for a spruce top is somewhere around 105 to 11.110. So I sand them on the inside, and I go around with my calipers, and I find I get to where it's even all the way around, and I get these down to about 0.105, 107, somewhere up close to 0.110. Then I rebrace it. So this now has X bracing. It's got a solid rock maple bridge plate that's the size of the bridge, so it's not a great big triangular thing. Got 2 tone bars. It's got finger braces up the side. And that's about it. So once that Sitka spruce bracing is in there, and I got a brand new bridge plate, then I carve a bridge for it. And I like a pin bridge. Gets the ball ends underneath. They're in contact with the maple bridge plate, so you get better resonation. Has a bone saddle. I usually leave the original nut if it's in any decent shape, and this one was. This one had a beautiful fretboard. I mean, really nice figuring to it, and the frets are in great shape. They're really, you know, they're like how many decimals am I going here? 0.003, 004, or 030. This is a math moment. I'm having trouble with it. Anyway, there's plenty there, so no problem with the frets. Original tuners on this one. They're the open gear. They look like old Klusons. Let's see. Truss rod functions on this. Original truss rod cover. The Made in USA part was worn right off. You can just barely see the faint outline, but it's not there anymore. And neck reset. So plenty of saddle. as you can see. So there's plenty of saddle there if it needs to be any more adjustment. And now we're down to like 5/64ths on the low E, 4/64ths high E. So nice, low, comfortable action all the way up and down the neck. Doesn't have the dreaded 14 fret hump like you get a lot of the time with a neck reset, so it's really clean all the way up in there, even if you want to solo better than what I can do. Very comfortable for fingerstyle. It's got a 2 1/8 inch string spacing, 1 3/4 nut. If you've watched my videos, you know that's my little intonation check. When you're doing Blackbird, there's that open B. If that intonation hits, the B is the tough one. And usually if the B hits, the rest of them follow. These are just great all-around guitars. Flat picking is a breeze. Anyway, 1950s Harmony H1203 Sovereign, solid spruce top, solid mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck, X-brace with Sitka spruce, maple bridge plate, fraction of what you pay for a Martin. Take a look in my listing here on Reverb if you're looking at this one, and I do have the list of the specific flaws. I mean, there are flaws on all these. Like, this one did not have a heel cap, so I don't have the ivory one. So I made one out of some nice spalted maple. Couple of back cracks that are all cleaned up and healed up now. What else? There's some scratches and, you know, dings around the bridge, around the footprint itself. Not terrible, but they're there. And I'm trying to take pictures of it so you can really see those. But anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you later.